Welcome back one and all, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Tyranny. Where we left off last time, we had arrived at the disfavored camp, we met with the Archons, and we read the Edict of Kairos. And that's pretty much where we are right now. Now we're going to figure out what our side quests are going to be for the game, and go from there, really. That's pretty much our goal at the moment. Let's go talk to these people again. Welcome back, Fatebinder. Lucia here was just mentioning that, only because you asked, that you've been a real asset to the disfavored ever since you arrived. Not that anyone expected different. He beams at you with pride. What can we do for you? Are there any combat games to be had in camp? The two soldiers trade a glance. A question best suited for the Scarlet Chorus Camp. If you don't mind the smell, anyone looking for a fight can fight one of those braggarts. Just take care that you don't headbutt the wrong gang boss. In the heat of battle, there are some who wouldn't hesitate to cut your face off, agent of Tyranny or not. What's it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military force on the face of Tyrannus. Unlike the Chorus, there's tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tight-knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough. Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable Legion of Kairos' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. Well, that's good enough for those guys. What's in this box? Nothing. Okay. Bitterquip says, "Back again?" Bitterquip looks at you up and down, his face unamused. Have you so little to do, besides standing around the disfavored camp? Bitterquip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title, one. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. They sound a lot like the Tal'Darim from StarCraft. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitterquip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored, that will be a fine day. Alright, well, you're not a very nice person, but we have better things to do than talk to you. What do you have to say? Alright, you're that store owner. He didn't have anything we wanted, I don't believe. No. Cancel. Although we can get a Sigil of Frost. Which gives us lore abilities. Also, we should probably be wandering around camp casting this fairly continuously. It gives us a bonus to our lore, I believe. Some sort of spellcrafting thing. Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. No one up here to talk to? I guess we should probably bring our follower along with us, but I don't think there's anything at the top of the camp. It's not looking like it, except for a barrel, which has nothing. Ooh, nothing in it. Something caught in my throat. Alright, there we go, fixed. Ooh. Alright, let's talk to Iron Marshal Arerus. Don't just coddle the impact, push back with your shield, take the momentum. Iron Marshal Arerus, field commander of the disfavored, pounds her fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. I set eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. The disfavored officer turns towards you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat as she clears her throat. Need to stay on top of the troops or their skills will rust. It's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. How are your warriors reacting to the edict? Kairos' ultimatum has the camp on edge, some with dread, but most are rife with anticipation. She points to the men sparring in the field. We have a lot of brothers and sisters to avenge, and the warriors are eager to take out some aggression. I, for one, choose to see the edict as a blessing, for it forces the generals to act, and we're long overdue. It was mentioned that you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along the Placid, Echo-Call, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-prong attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kairos' edict should we fail, so I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. I'll assist. Then our plan might work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shielding her eyes from you. Shifting her eyes from you to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunan, the adjudicator, selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust you will honor us all on the field. Antio will be leading the charge at Echo Call Crossing. Assisting you will be Barrack of the Stone Shields. She points to a heavily armored soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Forge-bound weren't sloshed on Dappleseed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and this armor doesn't exactly come off. Tactically it's brilliant, but otherwise it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Arerus signals to the hulking presence. Barrack, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier that steps up to you better resembles that of an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible. Ew.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
Staying out of trouble?
I wasn't sure you would recognize me, Binder.
A familiar voice emerges from the unfamiliar wall of walking iron. For a moment, you can recall the features of Barrack of the Stone Shields when he wore the traditional disfavored uniform during the Stalwart campaign, though he looks much changed.
And no, not staying out of trouble, just solving it. I take it you're with us for Echo Call?
Barrack wraps his gauntlet against the twisted bands of iron that form his breastplate.
Barrack, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
I encountered Barrack in the Stalwart campaign. Though he appears much changed, he's an excellent soldier.
You're generous to say so. I'm afraid I left the better part of myself on the killing fields of Stalwart. But it's still in my pride and honor to serve the Legion.
His voice falters. You can't tell if it's hesitation or regret that stalls him. The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help, and more importantly, if my worries come true and the chorus tries to impede the mission, we will have an observer from the court on our side.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Barrack accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Barrack, you've been without a cohort since the last battle of Stalwart. It's time we give you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped, official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? Barrack regards the Iron Marshal in oppressive silence. That's an order, Barrack. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He can be stubborn as pulling a spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I am honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. We got favor with the disfavored and loyalty with Barrack. Excellent. I look forward to your success in the field. So we have a new character in our little cadre. Let's take a look at him. He is a Punisher, apparently, or a Sentinel. We can make him a tank, which actually might be the better idea. What's a Punisher do? Let's make him Sentinel, though we really need a tank. So what does he use for weapons? Let's take a look. C. And inventory. So he has a disfavored iron sword and a disfavored shield. He's definitely a sword and board type fighter. He looks pretty damn cool with the fused iron helmet, armor, gauntlets, and boots. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I approve wholeheartedly. What's this do? Oh right, that's that corrode damage thing. I'm gonna put it in my inventory. Can you use it all the time? What's the recharge on it? You know what, we'll just try it out and see what happens. Why not? It's only Path of the Damned.
Right.
It's not like it's unquick-saveable. What is the quick save button in this game? That's an excellent question that we should probably know the answer to. Quick save is F6 and quick load is F8. Alright, let's quick save. Perfect. Things are coming up us. Can anybody open that yet?
Not
I
happening.
really wish I had gotten more subterfuge. Also,
Slow
alt is
and
stealth, I found
steady.
out. So we're going to try some of that to make our subterfuge go up. I'm not sure if that is what it is, but we'll figure that out. Let's go to the Scarlet Chorus Camp next. We haven't actually gone there yet. The path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian guard. You can go no further until you deal with them. Well, I mean, if they must attack me, then I must punch them in the face until they all fall down. That's pretty much the rule of adventuring. Rule 1, if people get in your way, punch them. Ooh, they're looking a little bit
That's far enough,
powerful.
Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in a readied stance, their nerves clearly on edge. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I abide by this truth.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos' way, but we must have hope.
Okay.
A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Assuming he's our prisoner, what would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy, got other limbs too.
I would not have us barter with oathbreakers. Certainly not for anything less than disfavored lives.
You say there's something worth less than a disfavored life. Call me intrigued.
We could lie to her. Or we can simply say, sorry, that name means nothing to me, or I will not negotiate with oathbreakers. Sorry, that means nothing to me.
No, I'm sorry. I'm asking about one man out of thousands that have been slain by Kairos' forces. It's not like I remember the name of all your friends that I've killed. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Palox Tyrell is dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
I will bow deeply. Sorry you did not find what you were seeking.
Then all that remains is for me to thank you for hearing me out. In accordance with our ancient customs north and south, let us part with peaceful accord.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours, before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. Cool. Well, at least we didn't have to fight, I guess. Anything to loot? There's totally loot here. There's some skycap and a walking death. That sounds not good to pick up, but you know what? We've never been one for caution, I guess. And it doesn't look like there's anything else in this area, but we'll take a quick peek just to make sure. No, there's nothing here. Okay, moving on then. Wait, hang on. What is this little icon on the map?
See that?
Ah, I see. There's hidden things. What is it? It's a potion of elemental barrier. Neat. And what is this? An agate and some blood moss. Alright. Cool, we looked around, we found some things. They were only 30 minutes outside the camp. That's a little brazen. What if some Scarlet Chorus scouts had come along and wiped them out? They would never have known what happened to their kinsmen. And would have in fact joined them. Alright, the Scarlet Chorus Camp. Here we are. There are 2 people. One is named Quiet Shiv and one is named Shivershank. I don't think those were their given names. What's going on here? It proves everything. The warrior slams her fist together in a resounding clap. Like for instance, whether you're fit to lead that flock of children. Behind her, the members of her gang posture with weapons held at the ready. Did you not hear the news of the edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fight for the enemy. The chorus warrior looks to his gang, giving them a quick nod. What's the problem here? No problem here, Lord Binder. She tosses her blade in the air, catching it with a smile on the way down. Captain Fuckwit here it seems he's about to balk from this challenge. Thinks just because he used to run a ship, he's qualified to run a gang. She spits on the ground, looking up with a scowl, so I'm calling him out, because, the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new blood. Captain Fuckwit was my father. Fuckwit will do just fine. The warrior points at the opposing gang. If we have to prove our strength, we'll do so happily. But I'll have your hands and feet removed and the rest of you kept alive, for my own use. Ew. Allow me to join you. I enjoy a good bloodbath. A sharp, vicious grin cuts across her face. Be my guest. I've always wanted to see a Fatebinder in action. He falls, pointedly quiet, but finally shrugs one shoulder, seemingly smart enough not to protest. Okay, who do we want to fight for? We want to fight for... Prepare yourselves, I'll be defending Shivershank. The soldier offers a quick, solemn nod. I'll owe you once we've carved them a lesson. She laughs, arrogant and eager for the challenge. Come, you'll be the first to meet my blade. She tosses her knife from one hand to the next, then lunges for you without further warning. Oh, you don't want to do that. I just got level 2. What's iron tolling? Oh, there's really cool joint abilities we can do. I'm gonna do this one though. And you are gonna go fight her and clash up iron.
Can't do that.
I thought I was supposed to do that ability. Ooh, she died horribly. Why are you not getting into the fight? Go fight. Oh, we didn't get into the fight properly. Shivershank survived though, that's good. There's a rusted iron sword and some garbage. I'll take it all. And let's talk to him. The blood-splattered choirman gives you a solemn nod. That's it. Just a nod. Nothing special. I like how we were in range of the Horde members and they just didn't care. They're like, eh, fights happen. It's just the way of the world, I guess. Another rusted iron sword. Are those any good? We should take a look. Are they actually weapons? I don't think they are. No, there's some sort of other? Maybe for crafting or something like that? Or just merchant, I guess. Okay, first of all, let's change up our formation.
I'll do it for the north.
We need our tank in the front. Having him not in the front is stupid. The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point is chorus territory, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? I am Eltimar, Fatebinder of Tunan. I'm here to help vanquish the Oathbreakers. You know, I think I was told to expect somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Her lips crumple into a smirk. Why exactly should I let you in? And more importantly, what's this hulking ton of iron doing here? The guard gestures at Beric with a sneer. He's an allied warrior and my guard. You don't want to make an issue of this. Fine, just come on in. I'm sure the Fury will gut you if you're really a problem. The guard half-heartedly waves you in as she nods to Verse. Yeah, I'm here with Verse. I mean, clearly that's good enough. There's Fifth Eye. That's the guy we're supposed to talk to. Let's go talk to Death Knell. That sounds cool. You? As much an accusation as a question, the broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So you're Tunan's Fatebinder. I was expecting something more impressive. She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death Knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours for as long as it amuses me. The fighter effortlessly spins a bronze sword about in her hand. Let's get one thing clear. Stick to your words and law. Leave the fighting to the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard to those of us having a proper bit of carnage sport. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our Horde recruits seem good for, of late, is piling in a shit-reeking mound on the battlefield. She hums low to herself and flips her sword side to side with several deft flicks of her wrist. Keeps up, and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards. Again. Now what do you need? Insult me again, and I'll bury that blade in your belly before you can scream. She peels a surprised but pleased laugh at your threat. Tapping the flat of the blade against her thigh, she cants her neck until it audibly cracks. Maybe there's something more to you Fatebinders after all. You said something about the Horde thinning? Swelling until it's thundering, then crashing and receding. It's been the way of the chorus for as long as anyone's been in it. She offers a one-shouldered shrug, ambivalent if anything, but more likely just uncaring. We take our prisoners alive, give them a chance to live, to be reborn into something better. Putting any and every able-bodied to the sword like the disfavored do is nothing but a waste. A conquered enemy is but a new ally. It merely requires the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem of lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. The Vendrian guards, strengthened by their numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn. So, I've a better plan hatched. Go on. I'm thinking we'd redouble our efforts to recruit settlers, focusing on the unaligned and unsuspecting, instead of flushing ourselves to the gills with oathbreakers claimed from the battlefield. And how do you plan to convince them? A knife point has sufficed well enough in the past, but you've inspired me to try a more diplomatic approach this day. What do you say, Binder? You might be able to ease them into the idea, and save the lives of their friends and neighbors in the process? If it means expediting the end of this meandering conflict, so be it. My methods are surefire. You'll see. I'll mark the settlement on your map. She grins, biting her bottom lip bloodied. I can't wait to see the outcome of your efforts. The Fury howls, a satisfied laugh, and smacks you dead on the back. Alright, we have a quest from her to do now. There's a guy named Salvaros. Let's go take a gander at him. Hail, Fatebinder of Tanan. The disfavored officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or superstitious man, I'd say fortune must favor me today. I am not. But I'm pleased to meet you all the same. Now it brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands wide. This here mud in shit-stinking chorus camp. Anything you'd like to report, soldier? Maybe you noticed something unusual during your time here? He cants his head from side to side, taken aback. What about the chorus isn't unusual? The army itself is a strange, malnourished beast, but no. No, the screamers seem mostly in order, sir. And I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying, sir. Still as a post, he studies you sharply, scarcely appearing to breathe. Of course, even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this shit sty. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail, and it's not for lack of trying on my part. What do you mean? I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem, and request a stock of troops from the Iron Marshal Arerus for reinforcements if needed. But they won't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I could request. So why are you here, then? From the way most of my days goes, you think that I was here to row with the Blood Chanters and Scarlet Furies, but my post is to represent the disfavored interests before Fifth Eye, and the Scarlet Chorus before Iron Marshal Arerus. Not that I've gotten to do either, in so much as the last span. Have they been cooperative? No one tells me anything. They all lack honor and discipline. Don't think they could cooperate even if it's what they actually wanted. He grunts. Guess I shouldn't be surprised, considering they serve the Archon of Secrets. You'd speak ill of one of Kairos' actual... A keen observation. I'm glad we see eye to eye, sir. It's nice speaking with someone who doesn't try to frustrate the piss out of you every 4 words. It's like they don't even care. I'm the closest thing to a friend that disfavored... or in the disfavored they've got. You act like it's a punishment to be assigned to this detail. Begging your pardon, sir. But I've never fought a battle where my life wasn't on the line. He shrugs. Kind of the nature of war, isn't it? Alright, fair enough.
Found something.
Oh, we can open that. Nice.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Yes, good thing indeed. Good subterfuge increase there. We found something, I thought. No? Okay.
No reason to tarry.
There's always reasons to tarry, like loot. Like garbage rusted swords we gotta sell eventually. Alright, we'll go loot that in a sec. Variah Kell. Is not that person? Is that person? Which person is Variah Kell? Alright, let's try to Lantry then. No luck on either of them? Alright, we're not talking to... Oh, Fifth Eye must authorize all prisoner visits. Gotcha. That makes sense. I wasn't even paying attention to that dude. What is this? A sundered bronze sword. Might be good. Let's take a quick peek. Might be better than what one of my characters have. Let's take a look. So it is... worse than what we're currently using. For our character. It is... better than what he's using, and it is straight up better than what she's using too. Is that Falcata better? Or Twisted Iron Sword or whatever? No, it's a Falcata. No. Alright. It's about the same as his disfavored Iron Sword, so we're just gonna leave that alone, I guess. How about the Spear? Is it better? +2 accuracy, a little bit less damage. Got more range, got more accuracy. Oh, if we use the range attack, I see. Less armor pen, more accuracy. You know what? I like accuracy. And also, spear soldiers look cool like that. I'm going with the aesthetic choice here. Well, I mean, it's also
protects.
good. Oh, that's too high for us. 47 subterfuge. Not going to get that one yet. Well, look who we have here, chewing on some manner of crud. A cud, sorry. A heavyset soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The Fatebinder finally shows himself. I'm Reg. The second soldier chimes in, and this is Baz. We were wondering when he might pay the camp a visit. The Fifth Eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Reg clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz, something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who will give you answers, or even a smile. So, anything we can do for you? What do you know about the Vendrian's well? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian guard do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. She shrugs. We took the Citadel once before, we can take it again. We have to, don't we? Reg looks up at the imposing tower of the spire. Though Kairos knows I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. It's not cowardice, just superstition. Are you afraid of the spire? Sorry, Fatebinder, I shouldn't have mentioned anything. He sighs. The fact of the matter is, we were told to stay away from spires and old walls ever since we were babes. Of all the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine a soldier of the chorus pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it, Reg frowns. The Bane lurk around these old sites and kill anything they can catch unawares. I have no wish to meet a Bane in combat unless there are 100 bloodchanters at my back. She twists her lip into a frown as she considers this. Me neither, I suppose. What can you tell me about the Fifth Eye? Reg trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the voices of Narat. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little... wild, bloodthirsty, mad? Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. Reg flinches and glances over his shoulder. I was going to say eccentric. The chorus isn't picky about who joins the ranks, so you can expect some unusual types. Most are as like to kill you as promote you. Tell me about your time here. Reg and I were conscripted at the Gates of Judgment. He used to fight for Akon, me for Azure. Baz chuckles, sketching her chin in thought. How many fights did we survive so far? 11? Reg begins to count in a series across his fingers. No, 14. I count each day and sunder separately. The chorus is... Baz looks about the camp and shrugs. Not as bad as it smells. The strong like me and Reg, we're allowed to take what we want, what we deserve. We live only as well as our strength affords us, as it should be. Tell me about yourself, Reg. I had a family, a farm, then the chorus came and, well, and now I have the chorus. Priorities change when you hear screams in the night and feel a blade pressed to your neck. Things like farms or families don't seem as important. I used to have nightmares thinking about the culling. Felt awful remembering how I hacked my ma and dad to bits just so I could survive. Wow, grim. Reg's eyes shadowed for a moment with sorrow, take on a feverish gleam. The Fifth Eye heard me howling one night, pulled me out of the horde and took an interest in me. Now I'm studying magic, calling fire from nothing. If my ma and dad could see me now, they'd be so proud. Reg, show me what he's been teaching you. We'll make the valley burn. I want to learn subterfuge. I'm going to do some of that. It's getting expensive though. And that's pretty much all of our money. Oh, we learned all we could. There we go. Now we're getting better at subterfuge. I want to get better at it so we can, did we? Oh, that's Barrack. Oh, I gave it to Barrack. Oh, I screwed that up. We could quick load. I meant to give that to our main character, who actually has subterfuge and needs it. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm going to reload really quickly, come right back to where we were, do the exact same options, and then we'll just continue on from here. Back in 2 seconds, guys. Okay guys, welcome back. Sorry about that. We are back with our actual group, and we can ponder doing the right thing this time. So we have 12 out of 45 subterfuge. We had given it to him before, but that is not worthwhile, obviously. So we're going to spend 5 points and level up our subterfuge a little bit. Now we'll put him back in charge of the group. We're back to where we were.
Ash protects.
So who else do we have to talk to? Snigler Dagos, and also there's some Blood Chanter stuff here. Some pretty nice stuff, including a decent hammer. Is it better than our current hammer? Because I know we had a point there where our hammer kind of sucked. Although I think they're exactly the same, but their DPS is... No, there's our bronze hammer. It's actually worse. This is their bronze hammer. It's actually better. So it's just a straight DPS increase. This one gives minor parrying, and this one gives minor accuracy. We'll keep the accuracy one. What's parrying do? Just +4 parrying? Okay, good enough then. We're going to go to her. We're going to give her that sword back, her main sword. And I didn't actually give her her... that other sword we picked up earlier. This one, I think it is? Yes, Sundered Sword. So we're going to give her that as well. And then we'll give him the hand-me-down of... What's Eradicating do? Charges low health enemies with energy, triggering a violent explosion on death. We'll give him that sword. There, now he looks all fancy. Good. We re-equipped our group, and we're ready to go. Snigler Dagos, what do you have to say for yourself? Upon noticing your approach, the merchant straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor. The name's Snigler Dagos, originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire. I have since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kairos' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. What do you got? He winces a little. It's not much, but let me know if you see anything that piques your interest. You have the finest stuff, but it's garbage. Thanks. Good to know. That is a pretty fancy dagger, Ripper. It's a +3 armor pen, lower DPS by a lot, actually. Maybe it's not that good. However, there are some sigils that we should probably look up. Look at getting some of them. We already know that spell. We don't have enough lore for the precise action one. And... oh crap, I didn't want to buy it. Just put it back for now. I just want to know what it is. There we go. 22. Don't have enough lore for that either. That being said, we do have enough to sell some things. So let's sell some things. We're going to sell this garbage hammer. And that garbage sword. And that war mace. Oh, that war mace is actually pretty good. Maybe we'll keep the war mace around. The spear we can get rid of for now. Well, forever, I guess. And those we can get rid of as well. We'll take a look at our armor in a little bit here. I'm not sure entirely what we do with it, but we can sell this stuff because it's garbage. Gives us some extra money. Some good spending stuff. We have a hide from Spire. I don't know what that means. As of yet. Alright, good enough. And we'll sell this axe. I think it's pretty garbage. We'll take a look at... well, he can't get armor to start with. So if he puts this in here... oh, that's selling. Never mind. Put it back. Just put it in there, actually. If we go here, we can take a look at armor and see if it's any good. So this helmet is better in armor, but way less deflection. So maybe not. A little bit less deflection, a little bit more recovery. Nah. Nope. Nope. Uh-oh. My game is lagging. There we go. Nope. No. Yes. Actually, that's really nice. Okay, so the nose we can get rid of. So no. Nope. Nope. No. No. No? Yes. Probably not. Yeah, actually that's pretty nice helmet. And Blood Chanter bracers, those are very nice. And those are garbage boots now. Alright, so there we go. We sold a bunch of junk, got some monies,
I'd have it
and
no
we're
other
moving
way.
on to the Fifth Eye. This is probably our big conversation. The Binder of Tyranny arrives. Squealing with the teenager's timbre, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives, but worry not, we'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-splattered glove. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. How was the camp? Responded to the edict. With mewling, bawling, and the occasional orgy, frequent vomitus, a shrill, tittering laughter escapes from under his mask. The bloodlust is there, but so is the fear of failure. Should our glorious horde fail to overrun the citadel, we will surely all perish. I mean, I don't see the disfavored pulling their weight. I'm not here to follow your every order, but we all need to work together to stop this edict. But of course, you are Tanun's concubine, not mine. I envy your long leash and hope you will grace us with your prowess, if only to set an example for the rabble. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel beyond the mountain spire, but we have learned this is not their only nest. The Fifth Eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining a camp here in the outer valley, and unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack us from behind the moment we cross the river. I'll remain silent. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims that she can lead us to the Vendrian Guard's second camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Varia Kel. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears, and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try and take their captain, and show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. Why not just ask the Archon of Secrets? I thought he could interrogate anything. An unintelligible mutter escapes from under the Fifth Eye's mask as his posture stiffens. I do not tell the voices of Nerat what to do, nor do I question his motives. The Archon is busy plotting the efficient destruction of these Oathbreakers, and is not to be disturbed. I've known the Archon to demand personal interrogations, but it's only ever been with leaders, mages, or others of great merit. I've often imagined the interrogation process is not to be taken lightly. Perhaps it's downright exhausting for Nerat. I don't belong to Archon Nerat. What's my health worth? You wound me, Fatebinder. The Fifth Eye places his hand over his chest, feigning the start of a swoon. And I thought the joy of working for the illustrious Archon of Secrets would be reward enough. But you need to be missing half your head to think that an expert works for free, so tell me, what will make this worth your while? My price is knowledge. The Archon of Secrets knows a great deal of magic, does he not? Actually, an honest wage. Because a dishonest wage would be unbecoming of Tunan's law dogs. No? The Fifth Eye chuckles, his left hand sliding up his right sleeve. He draws forth a small ring purse and drops it in your hand. The chorus is honored to have purchased your aid. Are a few more conscripts going to change anything at this point? Seems wiser to kill them. But, the Crimson Spear pauses, his body frozen in a shrug. But that is our way. We offer redemption even to those who have harmed us. Besides, I'm not truly interested in any old conscripts, but rather one specific one. Their leader, Captain Pelox Florian, is one of the finest warriors of the Vendrian Guard have left. It is double the injury to take from your foe while adding to your own clan. I'll speak with the prisoner. I will meet you there. She is waiting by the other prisoners. Alright then, let's interrogate this prisoner. We're going to be a little bit ruthless. Also, we're going to quick save. Hey, we leveled up, I think. We have an attribute point. Oh, fancy. What do we want to put it in, guys? We have pretty good resolve. Okay, what does subterfuge use? Straight up, it needs wits and quickness. I kind of want more accuracy, though. Finesse is pretty good for us. I mean, quickness and finesse are both really good for us. Dual wield needs quickness and finesse. And armor deflection is nice, too. This is a tough choice. I think I'm gonna have to go with the finesse this level. You have an attribute point as well, so he's got beefy strength and decent resolve. Kind of really, no, it's a little bit above average quickness. Below average wits, though. But good health, too. Probably gonna have to go with strength. Keep him alive a little longer, or maybe resolve. Resolve gives sort of everything for defenses. Although he's more of a one-handed weapon, what's that need? Strength and accuracy. What about athletics? And parry, what does parry need? Accuracy. Okay, so maybe just accuracy for now. It just seems such a waste. We'll give him one strength, and then we'll work on the other stuff later on. Alright, let's interrogate a prisoner. Varia Kell, please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Nerat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman in the makeshift armor of the Vendrian guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest that she has been forced to stand for days. This one, he flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering earlier. She knows the location of the Vendrian guard encampment. But she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing, the prisoner turns pale for a moment before a look of determination comes over her face, that I wanted a guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'll talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join with the Vendrian guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. You claim you would disavow your people for the Scarlet Chorus. Why the change of heart? Because I want to live, and you don't need to be the Archon of Premonitions to know that the younger realms are gone for good. She blinks several times, catching her breath. Kairos is the new strength of the Tears, and I would rather stand with his Archons than be crushed by them. Why should I trust the words of an Oathbreaker? I suppose I have no answer for that. Varia's eyes fall to the ground, and she swallows nervously. When I joined with the Vendrian Guard, I accepted their broken vow unto myself. Have you not felt passion for a foolish cause, one that you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere, and I'm willing to bow before the voices of Nerat to prove it. Tell me what you know, and I can see to your release. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Pelox Florian and his crew. I can lead you there, but only if you release me. She turns her head, taking a long look at skewered and smoldering corpses around her. She tugs at her restraints, but to no avail. You're lying. Why don't you tell me what you actually know, and I'll see about saving you? Well, I see. Shaken by your demand, her lips move wordlessly for several seconds. So I don't know exactly where the rest of my crew is, but I can tell you. She shakes her head, catching her breath. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall, dark one missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out of the boot and is thrust into the Fifth Eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense, just a mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information and gives us garbage. Slay this wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at a nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices of Nerat. An initiation rite would be in order. Seeing as you are an expert on the subject of fate, I will entertain your wisdom on the matter. What then would you propose we do with her? Let's test her loyalty. If Varia, kill these guardsmen with something blunt. Varia looks at the prisoners, once her allies, and closes her eyes as her bonds are untied. The onlookers snicker and cheer when a heavy rock is placed in her hand. Mouthing something inaudible, she lifts her rock high above her head and smashes it down onto the prisoner's skull, wincing back a scream as she hoists the stone over her head for a second time, to finish the job on the other prisoner. The bloody rock hits the ground and Varia slumps into her knees in defeat a moment later. Sweet. I mean, that's sort of evil, but, I mean, that's what we do. We are evil. That's kind of what we're supposed to do. Good, good! The Fifth Eye places his bloodied hand on the trembling woman's shoulder and nods to her. Welcome to the Scarlet Chorus. Do not fail us. As a pair of soldiers come to lift up Varia, the Fifth Eye turns towards you, his voice filled with glee. Where's a slave to clean up the offal when you need it? So we made a new clansman, which sounds very racist. But, I mean, chorus clansman, not our clansman type. Yeah, we're just gonna go on from there. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position, not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers, and all she gave us was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
The voice comes from another prisoner tied up next to Faria, an older gentleman with the quills, ink vials, and parchment scrolls one finds on the sages of the School of Ink and Quill. Ink smudges cover his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred, and between the rips in the fabric, you spot bright burn scars along his arms. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. And who are you?
I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful?
I'll try and read the parchment for myself. You unroll the parchment and see the message of modest length written in a professional, albeit hasty penmanship. The Tearsmen speak the Canto just like the Northerners, but they have half a dozen different ways of writing it. This particular script is unknown to you. Can you read this?
Well, let me see. I can't.
You hold the parchment in front of the bound sage. His eyes dart down the length of the missive. He reads the words a second time, nodding in silence.
So, I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
A few hours? Either you can read it or you cannot. What use is this sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I needed to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. Your life depends on you translating the scroll now.
I would love to help. I just need some time. That's written in another sage's shorthand. I'd have to sit down with it, or better yet, compare it to a piece of his writing I have stashed on me somewhere. If I sat down with it while sufficiently sober, it's highly probable I'd figure it out.
Sober? Since when do we share the good stuff with the prisoners?
Good question.
Oh, nobody shared. Right before I was taken prisoner, I imbibed several vials of reagents. I wanted to be numb and disconnected when my captors used me for carnal catharsis. It's made these last few days tied to a post almost enjoyable.
Can't hurt to give him a few hours. You read the edict? I don't need to tell you the sundial is working against us. This adult old bag is trying to stall us. Untie him. Give him a chance to translate. Are you giving me orders, Binder? Does this look like Tunan's court? Last I checked, only the Archon of Secrets can tell me what to do with a prisoner. The Crimson Spear pounds his staff on the ground. If this old man wants freedom, we shall give him a fair shot at a trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Fine. But I'll be his champion. This one needs to live.
Good. I like it when Tunan's puppies get their paws dirty.
I wouldn't mind taking a swing at some loudmouth chorus braggarts myself.
Did you hear that, brothers and sisters? Raising his arms to the sky, the fifth eye roars for all nearby to hear. Trial by combat is upon us. The sage is unbound from the post. Stiff legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk, and his arms flex and flail in their new freedom. Wiping sweat and grime from his brow, the sage steps closer to you with a nervous smile. Rhythmic roaring and stomping of hundreds of feet in unison flood the camp. Horsemen begin to circle and swirl about, brandishing weapons and cheering. If they get this worked up to fight the enemy, I venture the war would be over by now. Begin the chant of gathering. Let the warriors know that tonight's entertainment will soon commence. Alright guys, so we had a brief crash about 10 or 15 seconds into this fight last time, so hopefully we'll be good to go now. Brothers and sisters, who among you sets the standard for strength? Who amongst you will help winnow the weak from the strong? The fifth eye waves his hands in the air, drawing in a gathering of chorus soldiers. Our claimants have been assembled. Now let the trial of the Oathbreaker begin. Alright, we are going straight into battle, it looks like, so we're going straight ahead. I want you to go straight ahead as well, and you to go there. I'm just gonna try and keep this guy back out of the fight, I think. We're gonna use Renewal. Wait, what's it do exactly? Plus 0.5 armor per piece of armor worn for 60 seconds, and plus 1 armor penetrated by attacks for 60 seconds. Yes, we're gonna do that. That sounds good.
Look at that!
Okay, we got our thing out. At least we got a buff. What are they looking like? So we have a barely injured horde, an uninjured person, a slightly injured barrack, screw that guy, just go fight. You two fight that one. You are gonna flurry of blows that guy. You are going to heal yourself. Because you're being attacked by 2 people now. 3 people. They really don't like our wizard, apparently, so he is going to die probably pretty fast. Let's try Iron Tolling on that guy, and she is going to do nothing at the moment. What's he got? He's got Quill Strike, which is a thrown weapon. Not very good for what we're up to right now. Oh good, he's fighting. That's actually okay, we're good with that. Badly injured, injured, uninjured. Oops, didn't mean to move him. That actually almost killed him.
Take care.
Oh, I got interrupted. That's okay though. Alright. What do you have? Iron Tolling we already used. Clash of Iron we haven't done yet, but I think it's on cooldown. So we have Stab next. Actually, let's get him a healing potion. She's injured and bleeding, so that's pretty good. That guy's badly injured. That one's badly injured as well, but they're both not dead yet, which I don't like. That one just died. He have exploded. Literally exploded. I approve of that. That was amazing. Let's thrust into her. She is injured still. That one's badly injured. Barely injured, okay. Badly injured now. I need her to disengage, actually. And come over here. I need to finish this off. There we go. Alright, we're doing pretty good now. Okay, 3 against 1. This fight's over now.
It's a hit!
We have our flurry of blows. There we go. Alright, great success. By the righteous shedding of blood, we have found our answer. Regrettably, it appears the sage is worthy of leaving our camp alive. The fifth eye offers you a short mocking bow to Lantry. By the custom set forth by the voices of Narat, you are free to go, old man. Brag to your grandkids that you fell afoul of the chorus, yet lived to tell the tale. That was fun. Your warriors almost put up a good fight. It really is bloodletting weather, is it not? My conscripts need to see more warriors of your skill in action. I thank you for the lesson you have given the camp. I thought I'd die tied to that post. The sage looks down at his rope-worn wrists in disbelief. Now hand me that parchment. I'm certain I can decipher it. Let me save. Well, much of the parchment was weathered, but I can make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of a meeting spot west of Tripnettle. So the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask that you travel ahead to see if you can't get this Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if yours is the face they see. I know the area, and I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far from the stench of this camp. You're offering to come with me. Why? Because the alternative is, what, living here with these illiterate brutes? My old study is under a river of fire, and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kairos. I'd be a fool to let someone else write your story. There's something amiss. There's a lot of fight in you for an old scholar. Now you're offering to join this expedition? I've met sages and every bit as cutthroat as hardened gang bosses. They act the part of doddering scribes, but don't let that fool you. Smart for someone your age to be so mistrusting, but I am not with the Oathbreakers, if that's what you're fishing at. I worked for them under duress, but I've no love for them. I'm not about to pledge to the chorus, and the disfavored wouldn't have me. Still, I consider myself a Kairos-fearing vassal of the Overlord's empire, all the same. For as long as I've been a sage, I've been trained to defend myself. We don't spend all our time binding books and sketching wildlife, just most of it. For centuries we've been in a quiet war with the School of Tides and the School of Wild Wrath. You can't travel alone as much as I do and not know the bronze dance. So you won't be a parchment weight during a fight. Good to know. Oh no, I'd like to think I'm worth at least 3 or 4 angry peasants in a fight. Fine. Swear fealty to me, and I will let you leave this place with me. If that's your price, I will pay it. Sage, or I, Sage Lantry of the School of Ink and Quill, do pledge my services and Skine to the Fatebinder, and by extension to the Court of Tunan. He dips into a steep bow before rising with a solemn smile. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and not how to get killed. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way, and let me know if there's anything I can do to be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Alright, so that's going to be the end of our video. Had to do a couple transitions because we had a weird crash, but that's fine. He's actually a higher level than we are. Let's take a look at him. We have some of his favor, and some of his wrath as well, so we gotta be careful. Oh, it's Scarlet Chorus, I see. How is our disfavored rank? We are stand tall and stand together. It's a passive. +1 resolve for 3 seconds. That's kind of neat. And we can also get Favor of the Fatebinder, which is shielded for 80 damage for 30 seconds. That's actually really nice. Cool. But I want to know about our companions. So if we get Loyalty up, we can get a Wheel of Ages. We work together to create a slowing aura around a party member. Foes within the range are slowed. Cool. So there's a whole bunch of different things we can do, obviously. And we can do things like Graven Ash, the Voices of Nerat, and so on. But, long story short, let's take a look at our character. I want to look at his talents more specifically. He has 2 of them. He can do Sage, which appears to be like a buffer, kinda? Like a self-buff type thing. Preservation, I think, is what we're going to be using him for more, though, is the healing branch. So we're going to grab Renewal. And let's control life, and let's control vigor. Or Arcane Shield. Actually, that's pretty nice. Let's get Arcane Shield. And then we'll start working down towards the next level. I like Preservation Magic for him. She's our Skirmisher / Duelist. And he is us, so that's good. And he's our Sentinel. So that's pretty much all we're going to do. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.